What a lovely day to feel like shit.
This is the Four Eyes Podcast, baby.
Why are you wearing Willem Dafoe?
I'm not wearing Willem Dafoe.
No, he skinned him alive. No, he's wearing
I'm
Willem
not
Dafoe.
wearing Willem Dafoe. I am wearing an Anthony original. I made this shirt.
Oh, you did too.
I did make
I've
this. Well, I
talked
didn't
to you
make the
about this.
photo, but I put it all together. So it's a front and
you
back
copied and
shirt.
pasted it and put on a shirt? Or like...
Dude, when you say it like that, I sound like a dickhead. But yeah, pretty much that's what I did. I made it.
It's a cool shirt. I like
Thank you.
it.
It
I
is
like
a cool
Willem
shirt.
Dafoe.
I think so too.
Actually, Ash and I have like a bit of a... This thing where we're both actually like terrified of Willem Dafoe when he's the Green Goblin.
But every other time is fine. It's just the Green
Yeah,
Goblin that terrifies you.
We think he's like, you know, like he's just like one of those unconventionally attractive like guys.
Whoa, I did not see that coming. What
Well,
the
no, we're both like,
fuck?
oh yeah, like he's you know, for an old dude, he's talented. I respect that. He's got
You're
nice
all over
hair.
the shop, dude.
He's got nice
You're
hair.
all over the
but
shop.
when he's the Green Goblin, get that fucking thing away from me. Terrifying. The amount of nightmares and shit we both have had about it's apparently
Yeah,
the same
actually,
thing.
to be fair, like when I watched that as a kid, that was quite hectic. Like the
It's
end bit, like when they're in
terrifying.
the like the church or whatever, and they're like, "That was fucked." That's actually quite scary.
Yeah, that's why I had
It's very
nightmares
scary.
about it, and I was Spider-Man. And like, imagine that. Imagine that dream. I had a repetitive Spider-Man dream. It was
You had a
sick.
repetitive Spider-Man dream where
Yeah.
sexy William Dafoe was coming to get
No,
you.
it was, to clarify, it was not sexy Willem Dafoe. It was terrifying Willem Dafoe. Thank you, sir.
No worries. Oh, delicious flavor. Smoking a peach flavor. We're here. I don't know how to start this. It's been a it's been a bit.
Well, yeah, this is like, what, the first episode of
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
new
this is the
podcast.
first.
So maybe I'll ask you.
Maybe we need while you're here for the first episode of the second season, maybe you can give me an idea of how I should start this. Maybe you should give me like a pointer. Maybe give me like something that's like worthy of the second season to start this off. What do you think? Maybe like
I got it.
You got it? You got something? Thank
So
God.
I shaved my beard.
Shut the fuck up. This is going to be audio only. My beard has been shaved. I had to because we had a Halloween party and I went as Wolverine and I full commit and I shaved some mutton chops in. And you know what? The mutton chops
Work.
pulled through.
Hey,
They
yeah,
came
dude.
through.
They looked so
dude.
sick. They looked so sick. I was really glad that you did that, actually. I was like,
I'm
is he going
glad.
to commit to this?
Yeah, I had to because I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, grow back. That's
yeah.
the thing about hair.
Yeah, it'll come back. But it's the only thing I got going for me.
The fuck was that?
No idea. But it's the only thing I got going for me, apart from my creative and funny intellect and wit.
And your copy and pasted t-shirts.
Fuck you. Fuck you. And my copy and pasted t-shirts. That's all I got going for is my nice beard.
Hey.
But anyway, thank you for coming to start season 2 off. It's a little bit different this time. It's going to be a little bit more close to the heart. A little bit more introspective, I think.
Ooh.
That's just the self-analysis of what I've
Wow.
got cooking up. It'll be interesting to see what you think of this situation because I've been sitting with this for a while, so I'm like, let me see what other people,
Okay.
you know, like, I had a moment the other night. I was like, I gotta keep going. I gotta do this. Like, it's been too long. I'm starting to feel like I'm missing something. So, thank you for coming through
Of course.
to help me kickstart this and take it to the place that I want it to go to that I didn't get a chance to last time because of everything that was going on.
Because of life, man.
Yeah, because there's so much shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
so many reasons. But I feel now, moving forward, it's the right time to do it the way that I want to do it. So I think it's time to start. And then I was like, you know what? Who better to start it with than someone who's been undercut twice now that never made it?
It's right. No one likes to listen to me anyway.
No, that's not true. It's but it is true. It is true. I didn't want to post it.
Dude. Oh, man. Straight up. I had to
playing.
I had to stop myself from talking the other night because like Jade and her boyfriend were trying to leave. And I was just like, oh, lovely to meet you, like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Oh, I
what are
remember
you
that,
dressed up
actually.
as? Oh, you know what, guys? Like, I'm so sorry. I will keep talking. You should go right now. I have
Dude,
nothing to
I just
say.
remember, like, because Jade's always very
Really nice.
polite, and then, like, her boyfriend, like, I don't know this guy at all. He seems nice,
was just
but I
trying to-
just looked at him, I was like, you gotta go, bro.
Yeah,
like, this guy's gotta go.
I was trying to give him an exit. I'm like, seriously, like, go. I'll keep going. It's
Yeah.
not going to stop.
No, but it was fun that night. It was a very different vibe to the last
thought
year's one,
so.
though. Right? Like,
I
it was,
thought so.
the vibe was very different. And, dude, you know, like, I think a part of me is, like, because last year it was, like, not planned at all. Like, that was like a...
Impromptu.
Yeah, it was like a month out, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's have, like, this party. And, I don't know, this year I was, like, way more stressed about it, and I was, like, putting more effort into it. And I definitely should have chilled out more. It was, like, my own party, and I didn't even get super drunk until everybody was, like, leaving. And I was like, damn, last
That's
year
the
I was
thing.
fucking right off, like, halfway through the night.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was really good, though.
yeah, I had fun. It was
The
it was
house
really
looked amazing. I think that the parade, top tier this year. Like,
Dude, yeah, there was so
everyone
many
looked
good costumes.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The costumes, everyone went ham. I was, like, really impressed with that, because not every time I've had a costume party, people don't always, like, go hard. But
No, dude, they came to fucking play.
yeah, they did. I
this
think it
year.
was the threats.
Everybody came. The
The
threats.
threats worked.
Bit too aggressive, but I was like, you know what? Fuck this.
Fuck this.
Fuck
Anyone
you.
come without a costume,
I
you're
want,
leaving.
I want to make this the thing. Let's
Yeah.
like keep going with this every year. Let's do another one next year and the year after.
Yeah.
Let's have a big Halloween party. That's the only event. It's the only thing I'm ever gonna do. Everyone else can fucking handle everything else.
Yeah.
Halloween, I'm doing that shit.
Yeah, dude, bigger,
I'm doing it.
better, and just like relaxed.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing hosting a party though. Like it can be stressful. That's why people don't like to host. But
Yeah.
I think you and I are a bit similar in that we like to see people having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you like to kind of be the conductor of that.
I like to be the mastermind. I'm a big space guy.
Yeah,
I like
dude,
to make sure that I've
ambience.
got a good space going. But you're right though. Like it was so much stress, but then as soon as people showed up, gone.
Yeah.
But like because there were like so many people, it's hard to like fully get
Mingle.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
We
agree.
know this. Like we know this. What are we doing? We know this. It's
Yeah.
just like the jitters that happen all the time when you really want something to go a certain way or
That's why
whatever.
you just gotta like check yourself for a second and be like, whatever happens, happens. Whoever shows up will show up, and you just gotta like go with it.
Yeah.
And you went with it. I think you had a good time.
Is that your
My
comprehensive analysis?
observation
Yeah.
was that,
Okay.
from what I could tell, you're having a good time.
You keeping an eye on me on this fucking Halloween party? Is that what's happening?
Just keep an eye on everyone.
Mate. No, I was having a good time. I think everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, dude, tequila
To be
will do that
honest-
to you.
To be honest, fuck them. Anyway.
It doesn't matter. I had a great
I had
time.
a great time.
I was dancing in your pool, nearly broke my ankle. Like,
Dude, I fucking ate
That
it in the
swamp?
pool too.
That's,
What, in the
that's
little-
yeah, the little swamp. My skirt was beyond repair. I
My
think
bad,
it fell
dude.
apart. No,
My
it's
bad,
okay.
bro.
It's okay. It was
I couldn't do everything this year. I really couldn't, but I
No.
tried my hardest to do as much as I could.
I was
But
just confused how like there was liquid in there. Like was that just drinks?
no, that was just like
Swamp.
Yeah, it was swamp. There was a bit of swamp left in the
Where's
pool.
Shrek? Actually, there was a Shrek. Hey.
I think there was a Shrek.
Yeah.
There was so many good ones. I have to watch that thingo again, like the video from the party. But Mum was filming this year, so it was a bit. It was a bit.
No
more-
comment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it turned out alright. So, what's on the agenda, Tony?
Nah,
What?
mate. That's not. Nah, mate. Nah, mate. I'll tell you what's on the agenda when I'm ready to tell you what's on
Yeah.
the agenda. No, but I was gonna say that was a nice little debrief of like the weekend that we had. Like we had some fun. You know, got up to some nonsense. But we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about
We're
nonsense.
not talking about that.
Nope.
We're talking about moving forward, and
Oh.
we're talking about the centralized theme that is super important to me. it's been important to me for a while, but I think moving forward, I really want to hone in on this, and I really want to take this as far as I can go, and I want to talk to as many people as I can about this, because I want to help to form my own understanding. So hopefully by the end of this season, I'll get to the point in which I'm like, I got a pretty good idea of how people look at this idea and this thing.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna make like my like final like I'm gonna make my final statement about it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And what it is that I'm talking about,
Yeah,
because I'm like really jumping around.
The suspense is killing me.
I'm glad, because it should be. It's a big one, and it's. I think it's gonna be quite hard. It might put you a little bit on the spot, but that's what I want, because I don't want something fake. I want something.
I want to
real.
be vulnerable.
I don't want you to be vulnerable.
You want me
I
to
just
cry
want you
for
to
you?
be
Is that what you
honest.
want? You haven't seen enough of that?
No, I've seen enough crying. I'm done. I don't want any more. But no, if there's tears, there's tears. But I don't think there'll be tears. What I honestly want from this, and that's why I was so eager to get back into doing this sort of stuff, is I think with this like sort of structured style, there's enough room to jump around and talk about this, because it is so vague, it is so broad, and it is intertwined with every step we take in our life.
Yeah.
As soon as we wake up from the day and then go to bed at night. So what we're talking about, to like kind of get to the point, 'cause it's,
Yeah, come on.
it's fucking taking ages, but I want to talk about purpose and what that is and what it means and how we're sitting with it and how we're going to keep moving with it, and whether or not we're even aware of what it is. Because there's so many things that you can ask, right? Like when I was thinking about how am I going to approach this situation, how I'm going to approach a question like this, I picked out of maybe like, shit, man, I wrote so much shit down. I picked 5 things that I consolidated a bunch of other things into one like big like blanket thing. So there's 5 of those, and there's just 5 questions, and they kind of lead from one to another, so they're quite interchangeable. They'll come up when they come up, like they're inevitable. Like when you're talking about this topic, they just sort of come out when they need to. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it and wanted to focus on it is because I've noticed, especially in the last couple of years, about 2 years, maybe about a year or so, like there was like a real big push of momentum from myself personally, but and I noticed it in a lot of other people as well too. And I don't know, I feel like I've seen so much and I've done so much, but I don't feel the same momentum anymore. And it's shifted and it's changed, and I want to know why. And I think it's got to do with my idea of what the purpose behind those actions that led to those moments, and just purpose in general. I think mindsets have changed. Everything's gone from one thing to another, big shifts in our lives and whatnot. So I think starting out with figuring out what that means to the people around me is going to help me be able to...
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And by talking to the people that, I care about the most, and people that have huge impact on my life and are in my space, like what they have to say and how they carry themselves and what they've got going forward and what they want to hold on to, that's important, because I'll get to see it and I'll get to feed off that energy from them as well. So the sooner the better, basically. I was like, I need to know now, because I need to figure it out. And I'm not saying that in the sense like, if I don't figure this out, I'm going to fucking die. Like, I need to figure it out in the sense that I want to try and understand it more than I already do.
Yeah.
And the thing that was missing from that is what the people around me think about that. Because I can sit and waffle about what I think about it forever, but it's not something that really comes up a lot, I think, because it's hard for people to talk about it.
It's hard to articulate too.
Absolutely. And I think it's because you can't really do it alone. I think you need help because you're not really sure of it yourself. So being assured and having people around you that support you and whatnot when you're trying to figure things out helps, right? So why not just do that all the time? Why not just do that in a regular conversation? Why do we have to wait until something's going on or in some,
To bring it up.
to bring it up? Like, let's
Yeah.
do it now. So that's basically the gist of the season, I
Okay.
think. And I'm really excited to start having
That's
some
a very-
conversation with people.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It's a very heavy
It is.
conversation topic, and I feel like,
How do you feel? Do you feel a little bit prepared or unprepared?
well, given what happened to me last weekend,
Sure.
I feel like that shed a little bit more light on, like, what the fuck are you doing kind of thing.
Sure.
So, I can't say I've got, like, a specific answer to this question.
No,
Because
no,
it's a
absolutely
very...
not.
I think there's a lot of elements that come into my purpose.
Sure. And that's what I'm really excited to hear about as well, is how you take this and make it yours. That's what I want to know. That's
Yeah.
why you're here. You think I like hanging out with you? Fuck that. No way. I just want to get what I need from you.
Yep, sounds like it. Bring
No.
them dry.
And but you know, like a little bit of that is truth. I want to get what I need from you as a friend. Like I want to be able to
No,
get
dude.
what I think I need to move forward, and I want to be able to do that for the people around me as well.
That's good.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's actually like really good that you want to have these open conversations with people, because you're ultimately either going to become like better friend, like you know what, you might not even become a better friend to them, or you might, I don't know, like you'll just understand the other person a bit more, I think, and how their mind operates and thinks. And I always really enjoy listening back to your podcast because, like, I hear someone who I think I know, and I hear them talk about a certain subject. I'm like, oh, actually, I didn't know that that's how they thought about this.
Yeah.
So it's really eye-opening, not just for you, but for other people who, like...
Dude, that is like,
Yeah.
that is exactly what I want.
It's
this.
perspective, right?
It's exactly what I want. I want people to listen to the people that they know
Yeah.
talking about something that they haven't had a chance to, or for whatever reason hasn't come up. That is awesome to me. I think that is because you just become better people. You become better friends. You become more tolerable of each other, but you know where to push in and when you like back
Pull
off
back,
and whatnot. I think it sets you up for... I don't know, I think, like, you know, sometimes things get said and, like, emotions are high and feelings might get hurt or whatever, but in the long run, I think it's better out than in.
Like Shrek says.
I was just thinking about Shrek, like, when you start, because I was like, yeah, everything's always better out than in, and I think if it's said in a way and in a space and at a time in which can be but said like correctly in the sense that like
bit,
said in a way that isn't supposed to be aggressive or combative or upsetting. Like, you know, how many times you get on the piss and like you have a fucking conversation that you should have fucking had when you weren't on the piss. Like
way
that,
too many
I
times,
hate that, and I noticed that was kind of happening a little bit, like a little bit more than I'd like to, and I think it was direct correlation between not doing this more often, because like despite not putting episodes out, these were getting recorded and people were I was getting the chance to do this with a lot of different people, so I was like, oh, okay, like as soon as we stopped doing that, like something kind of changed. And like the thing that this kind of like why this sort of started was to have conversations with people that I care about that I haven't had the chance to yet, and we stopped doing that because we stopped doing this, and I was like, well, that's fucking wrong.
Dude, I think like a big part of that is just like people moving, like you changing your space, your timetable changed, you like started working more, like
sure,
like life just gets crazy.
Dude, it did, yeah.
You think about whatever, like everyone who was involved in the project last time is now doing.
Crazy,
it's
man.
Crazy, like to
crazy. It's not even been a year.
Ago.
A year. It's been probably a year now.
Yeah, I would say so.
About a year. Yeah, it actually has been about a year.
Yeah,
but it's
dude.
fucking insane. Like in 1 year, the amount of shit that we've all done.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
I made a joke before at the dinner table that I hadn't I wasted 6 years of shit. But it's like in a year, fuck man, like the amount of things that I've been able to accomplish personally, career-wise, all that sort of shit in 1 year is insane. And
You don't realise A year goes by like so quickly, but like when you have time to reflect, that's when you realize like, oh, hang on, I've done like this, and this. Like, I hate to bring it up, but like when you're tripping, that's what you know how like time kind of slows
Yeah.
down. That is quite possibly like some of the most scary, but also like grounding feeling that you can have, because it's like you are appreciating every single
it's
moment that you have.
reflection that you're having in those moments, right?
Yeah, like every second.
Isn't that just the worst? Like, it's great, but it's like, fuck, why can't we just do that more often?
Yeah.
Without having
Drugs.
to put ourselves in a situation like that. I'm not saying that it's, exclusively tied to that, but for a lot of
Yeah.
people, like, especially, even myself in, like, the last couple of months, like, I haven't been reflecting in the way that I used to really enjoy, and it's because, like, and it's a shitty excuse, but like I've just been doing other things.
Yeah.
And I realized again, I was like, fuck's sake, dude, like I can't forget to do this because then everything becomes harder.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you before you started talking about that, do you think you do enough reflection as a human? Or do you let me say it like this. Do you think you do enough of the correct type of reflection? Because you can do many things, right? Like you can sit down and think with no music, or you can go for a walk, or whatever it is, or whatever your process is. Have you been doing enough of it lately?
Lately,
Be honest.
I am being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I've been like, and this is kind of a little bit sidetracked, but like I've been taking more time to like write things down. I went to yoga for the first time in like ages
hell yeah.
yesterday, and for
Thinking about
someone,
yoga today.
pardon.
Sorry, I was thinking about yoga today.
Oh, dude, I cannot express, like, for someone who has a very fast-paced thought process, like, in their head constantly,
Yeah.
overthinks a lot, yoga is one of the only places that I can take a second to just slow down. And it's an hour of just, like, stretching and feeling my entire body. And since going to yoga, like, you just feel more grounded. And I know that that's something that really helps me to feel more at peace with what I'm thinking,
Sure.
which I think is healthy. Like, it's a healthier way for me to deal with things. Like,
Dude, I think that's the most perfect way to deal with it. Thinking about something until you're at peace with it. That's the
Yeah.
thing you're supposed to do, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. But, like, life is quickly moving, and, like, I have a
Sure.
busy schedule. So, like, for me to be able to then take an hour to literally just, like, stretch is, like, it's pretty phenomenal to be able to just, like, sit there with that. Like, a walk is good, but I'm still moving.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, in some sense, running away from, like, or running with the thought, where I'm not just sitting with it. Do you
Right.
get what I'm trying to...
I do understand what you're saying. And I was going to say as well, like, tell me what you think about this, but, like, there's different, like, I've noticed, because, like, when I'm doing certain types of, I don't know, self-care, if you want to call it that, it's a different type of, it's like a different type of meditation in the sense that I reach a different conclusion. Like, if I'm thinking about something and I'm going for a walk, right? I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about. My mind's running, whatever. I finally get to the stuff that's, like, really bothering me, and I'm starting to unpack it and think about it. When I'm walking, it's different. When I'm fucking lifting weights or, like, doing
Different
whatever.
again.
Dude, it's, like, a completely different unpacking. You know, like, one's a frantic fucking chucking shit everywhere. The other one's, like, a relaxed movement, like, picking it up and putting it there. Like, it's so different, and it's the hardest thing for me, I think, right now is trying to figure out what I need more as a human.
To do.
You know, like, do you know what I mean by saying, like, do I need to sit with this alone more, or do I need to open up about this with other people more? Do I need to bury this for a while and open it up at another time? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I know what you're trying to say. I think it's, like, again, difficult to answer because it's very much each to their own.
Sure.
One glove does not fit all kind of thing. Like,
It's got to be a
For
pretty
me-
big fucking glove.
For me, yeah, especially if it's mine. But for me, I find like things where I feel most calm or able to deal with like emotion in a productive way is when I'm doing something. Like I'm putting energy
I love that. Yeah.
from my thoughts to like physical energy.
Something. Yeah.
Which is also like a dangerous game to play, right? Because you could then become like addicted to being like to exercise, for example. Like for me, if I go to the gym, I feel way better. Like I know that I haven't been to the gym in like 2 weeks. I can feel the difference. If I go, get back into the routine of going, endorphins, everything feels way better. Like it's because I'm getting rid of like negative emotions, which are also good to have, because if you don't have them, like you're just going to be complacent.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like a good way to get it out of the system without like using that energy towards a person or someone else. Like, and I agree, it's a completely different kind of like thought process when you're there. That's like, oh, I'm gonna lift weights. Like,
Yeah, isn't that...
like it's like pushing through pain, I find, when I'm at the gym. It's like, oh, if I can lift these weights, I can get through this, like, this week. Like, I can do this. That's how I think when I'm there. If I'm in yoga, I'm, like, doing a deep stretch. I'm like, dude, if I can stretch my leg for, like, 4 minutes and I come back and it's really painful and I put it down and it feels longer, that's job done. Like, I feel relieved to get that out of the system. I don't really, like, I don't know, I think for me personally, that is a productive way to get it out, but it's not enough, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
It's healthy, but sometimes being physical isn't addressing the issue. Like, I need to write it out.
Yeah.
Look at it. Like, come back to it in a few days. Look at it.
Like, tell me what you think about this. Like, just because while you were saying that, I was thinking about, you know, like I was thinking about some of my bullshit. I was also listening, and one thing that I noticed while you were talking, I was like, I wonder what she thinks about the idea that to like fully, because I was just thinking about this, like to fully unlock this and get over this trauma, right? Like it's a step-by-step process. That's like that physical side, that's a pretty fair chunk of it. Like most people, once they do physical activity, you know, it's proven to like help them open their mind a little bit, distract themselves to get to the root issue, whatever. But then like you can open that door with the physical stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then you need to like tell me again, this is just me talking my shit, but like love to know what you think about this. It's like once you open that door, then you need like the emotional shit, which is like the sitting down with yourself after that moment to think about what you're thinking about, and then potentially the next step, if you need it or whatever it is, it's then like sharing that, and then getting over that with other people and changing the way you feel about that thing with someone else's help, and then potentially help and get over whatever it is that's holding you back, what you're thinking about. Sometimes, like, I think it's like we get lost in trying to figure out how to just be alright with stuff, and we forget that there's, like, no one way to do it, and it's, like, it's staggered, it's layered. You gotta, like, chip away at it bit by bit, and sometimes you can chip away at it with the wrong tool for way too long and do way too much damage and fuck it up, and then you have to fill it up again and then change the tool and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
No, I do get what you mean. Because, like, again, it's not one size fits all. Like, everyone has a different way to deal with these kinds of things.
Sure.
But one thing I've been learning, so I've been listening to, like, a few different podcasts over the past couple of days at work.
You listen to other podcasts?
Yeah, surprise, bitch.
Fuck! No!
Oh my god, who is she doing this to me?
I can't believe this. My own house. Fuck. But anyway, keep going.
I'll leave. No, but I've been, like, they're more so just people reading books because I don't have time. Like, I would love to be able to sit down and read, but
Don't you
because
dare say you don't have time to
no,
read.
I have time. I have time.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
thing
what I thought.
is, I find it really difficult to be reading while my mind is like tick, 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 tick,
Sure,
constantly
sure.
ticking. So I'm trying to like hack that so I can get back into the
Sure.
rhythm of reading because I actually really like to do
I was
it.
going to say, you're a fucking book nerd, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you don't have time to read anymore. But
Yeah.
shit happens.
It's just like
But I like the way that
mental game.
I like the way you explained that, like while your mind is going a little bit, because I think I'm a little bit the same in that
Yeah.
sense where I need to be in the right
frame of mind.
to be able to sit down and
Yeah.
pretty much do anything really.
Yeah, but like it's just I would love to be able to like physically read it, but it's just a bit too overstimulating sometimes. So
Why does that happen to you?
I just got so many thoughts going on. Like I'll try to read a page, but I can't concentrate. So I'm like trying to figure out. Look, there could be a number of things, but I think like either one, I've got like ADHD,
Sure,
or
sure,
like,
sure, you got something.
or
But
two, just got lots going on. You
but
know.
what are you gonna do to try and
Fix it.
fix it? Do you think?
Oh.
Like what's your approach?
So my approach at the moment, and it's
Is
only
the
been
audio
two,
books?
yeah, it's only
Dude,
been
it's
2
come full
days.
circle. Yeah.
2 days, but I'm like been sitting at work and I've been like having to put a few like, letters and stuff into envelopes, and I listen to music all day. So I was like, oh, why don't I listen to a book?
Substituted.
Because then
yeah.
I'm learning
Very
something
good.
while I'm doing this mindless activity, but I'm still keeping my hands busy. So it's like the best of both worlds for me. Like I can educate myself. I'm reading by listening, but still doing something.
Yeah.
So I'm like
Yeah.
ticking all the boxes basically.
I know what you mean. I like that. I think that's the easiest way to for the make time argument. I think that is the easiest way around like that.
Yeah.
You substituted it for something else. But again, that comes from being in a frame of mind to do something like that. You got to
Yeah.
the point in which, and that's what I think is crazy too, because like this frame of mind shit,
It changes everything.
It fluctuates so heavy, like,
Yeah, it
and
does.
I didn't realize, but you can like pick up off like other people as well, and they can influence it around you. And I thought I was like really on top of that, but fuck, man,
No.
like sometimes someone will like fuck my vibe up completely, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I really wanted to do that, but now I'm just like not in the position to like do that at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm not okay with that. I think I'm fine with that, but what I don't like about it is that I get blindsided every time. Does that make sense?
Well, when someone comes into the room and they meet you with like a negative energy.
Well, they meet me with a different energy that I wasn't expecting, and the adjustment period, I'm never like ready for it, if that makes sense.
I don't think anyone is ready for it, but you just gotta.
You think?
No, I don't think so. Like, best example I can give of that is like going into a work environment where everyone is like, oh, like you come in, you're fresh legs, come into a hospital shift, everyone's like, oh, I hate my life, like, this is the shittest shift, and you're like, guys, like, we're gonna have a great time.
Dude, I fucking hate that guy.
But that guy,
hate that guy.
might just pick up your mood.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You don't know.
Absolutely.
He's
No, that's a
leaving
really good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's leaving his shit at the door. He's coming in. He wants to make this better for you. So if you look at it like, hey, that guy's like, yeah, he's a mopey piece of shit, whatever. Like, he's got something going on internally as well. So I find the approach to that is if you pick up on that energy, you gotta raise that energy. Like, you can't, like, it's okay, obviously, if something serious is happening and, like, that isn't the energy you're meant to meet it with, but you just gotta know. Like, the other week when I went to that festival, there was, like, a group of people, none of us, like, really knew each other, everyone was feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, how can I get everyone to feel more comfortable? Best way to do that, get people out of their comfort zone. And so we played charades.
Boy, hang on. Best way to make people feel comfortable is to get them out of your comfort zone.
Because then they're like being vulnerable.
Yeah, okay.
And vulnerability is the pathway to comfortability. Like,
yeah, that's good, man. I'm gonna steal that if you don't mind.
no, it's cool.
But I agree with
I
you.
just
I
had
agree.
that thought
Yeah,
then, but
you're
like,
right. I think that there's truth in that for sure.
yeah, like if you have an open, like honest conversation like we're having right now,
Like this conversation right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're comfortable with each other, but we're being vulnerable with each other. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
fuck that.
okay,
No,
well,
I do.
whatever.
I
I'll
do.
just
I'm
shut
just
up.
that. But see, I'm being so comfortable to the point now where I'm just
Like, shut up.
not.
and-
Yeah. No. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I'm just taking the piss. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but like sometimes you gotta be that like
For everybody else.
for everyone else.
Yeah.
And you just don't know when you're gonna have to be that person, which is why I'm saying it can sometimes be unexpected. But if you want to raise,
Yes.
like, if you want to make it a good time, you got to bring the good time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just. And
I
it's
do.
so
Yeah,
easy.
I do.
It's so easy to just sit in that. But if you want something to change, you got to change it, right? So, like, that's what I was trying to do in that situation. And after a few, like, I freaking pretended to be Turbo on the ground, dude. Like, I was a snail.
Excuse
pretending
me.
to be a shell.
What the fuck?
And I was like, guys, don't you get it? Like, it's just like, you know what, if I show that I'm being an idiot, other people will be more inclined to want to be an idiot.
People are just like, this girl's a fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
But like, who cares, right? Like, I want to have a fun time. If I'm having fun,
Sure.
whatever. Like, I hope you join in. I hope you have fun too. But I guess that would be how I would address that kind of thing in terms of when you're not expecting like someone's energy, and it's hard because it's happened to me the other way as well. Like, I've been positive, and then someone's come up to me and been like, "Why are you so happy?" And I'm like, "Oh, like
Instantly,
this is
just like,
different."
Yeah.
Like just shit all over my parade. But it's like, okay, that's weird. Why aren't you happy? Like, why are you...
So I was just gonna ask you. So what do you do in that situation? But immediately on the attack and it's just like, what about you? Why aren't you happy, fucker? What's going on?
Because this happened when I was working at Casa Chibo, and I was like, because I used to be the host at the front desk.
Yeah.
And I just was laughing with a colleague, and he came in and he was like, "Why are you so happy? Why are you smiling?" And I was just like I
What do you mean?
I think
What
I
do you
just,
mean?
yeah, I kind of just laughed at him. I was like, I don't know, because I'm happy. And he's like, okay. I was like, oh,
Fair enough.
yeah, like,
So what do you want me?
but like, what a bizarre thing to
Yeah.
like say to somebody.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're actually right. Like, you can't be prepared for it. You can't. Because, you know what, like, when I said what I said just before, I was thinking about it from the point of where I was, like, not feeling happy, but feeling, not sad, but, like, just, I don't know, like an emotion that isn't one of those, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's hard to then expect how people are going to react. But, like, when you're happy, you're right. Everybody comes up to you and they're like, "Wow, why are you so
Yeah.
happy?" And it's like, oh, I can't explain it
What's
to
wrong?
you.
What's up with you?
I can't
You're
explain
like,
it.
yeah. Talking about expectations. Something my boss said to me last week. So my sister and I, we had a bit of like a rough weekend. So I don't know, don't need to delve into details, but you know what happened. So
Yeah.
basically, my sister was going through something with her boyfriend, and she was just really stressed at work. So she started crying, and I've just had like this big anxiety attack on the weekend. Come into work, she's crying. She's like, "Can you please get Ping, our boss, to come outside and talk to me? And can you come as well?" Anyways, Ping came outside, and she was exactly what we needed to hear at that point in time. Like, she basically told us, you can't have expectations from other people, because if you have expectations from other people, you will constantly be living in disappointment. And she's not wrong. Like, you can have...
Right, that's like some stoicism shit where
This
it's
is
like,
what Trav used to say to me, right? He'd say, don't have expectations.
Miss Trav, shout out Trav.
Yeah, like, he would say this to me, and I'd be like, dude, but like, standards, right? Like, you want to have standards. But the thing is, nobody can read your mind. Nobody knows what your expectations are. You can establish boundaries, but that doesn't mean that that person's always going to meet that boundary, always going to meet that expectation. Because ultimately, you come from a different, like, way of life. Like, you've been taught different things your entire life. Now you cross paths and, like, how can you expect them to think and feel the same way that you do? Impossible, right? So my boss's advice to me was, don't have expectations. Don't expect anything in return. Just be. And if you're just being, things won't bother you as much. You won't be inclined to think negatively. And so this kind of, like, spiraled my whole, I'm going to listen to some audiobooks and see, like, what I can learn. So today I was listening to, like, Marcus Aurelius.
Yes.
Which I know I've been meaning,
Let's go.
listening to that. I was
going to say, that is pulled, like what you just said, that is, oh man, that's one of the, that's
Stoicism.
A pillar of Stoicism is being able to, you know, this is me paraphrasing shit that I watched a video on, to be quite honest, but it's like being able to do exactly that by, you can have expectations for sure. I mean, it's impossible not to. Like, we can't be these fucking omnipotent beings that are just devoid of these regular fucking attributes that make people
because you
humans.
wouldn't be human.
But I think it's, you know, I think the problem is, and I think this can be applied to pretty much everything.
Every situation.
We have no idea how to manage the expectation. We don't know how to manage anything properly.
No.
Everything's out of balance. But expectations are huge, especially when it comes to the people that are close to us and the people that we rely on. And we inadvertently project these things that we need from them onto them without really communicating it to them. So then we're setting them up for failure with these expectations that they're not even able to reach because they don't even know they exist.
They don't, and that comes down to communication and, like, amongst a lot of other things.
That's it, right? Like, everything is coming back to, like, being able to manage the way you communicate with people as well. Like, it's all about this imbalance in the way we move through all of this sort of stuff. But that's Ping's on one for that. Like, that is fucking terrific. It
was the best advice I think I've ever received. Like,
yeah, man.
Genuinely, it really made me.
And at the right time too, like for her to be able to realize the situation and understand what was going on, to then pull that out of her bag of shit to say, like, that shows that she's got some sort of idea. She's not just like hearing shit. She's putting it to work as well. Like, she's doing something retroactively to improve her environment because. Like, that's the thing. Like, again, Stoicism, right? Like, you gotta focus. Fuck everyone else, what they're thinking about. What they think is trivial. As long as you get up and do your best every day, you're good. Yeah. And she got up, did her best for you. Like, you have to look after your people. Again, Stoicism, you gotta look after the people around you because they're gonna influence and make your life better or worse. And she noticed, took action in the correct way. She really, like... That's great. I cannot commend her enough. That you guys have an environment like that in which you work in. Dude. Let alone like, will you work in a place like that? Yeah. Fuck, that's great.
I've never experienced anything like it in terms of culture and the respect that she gives to you. Like, it's insane. Like, she just... Because she believes in, like, a flat culture. And that's just where everyone can talk to each other as equals. Which is so important because you go to someone with a problem, they're not just going to be like, oh, whatever, brush it off. Like, if you actually have an issue, she wants to sit down and work out a solution with you. Which, again, that's really proactive thinking. That's something that, like, not a lot of companies and businesses have. But it's so integral, especially when you're working with people. Because if you do not have, like, the foundations within yourself, within your home life, within, like, your general being, your general way of life, how are you going to then translate that into something where you're making a profit? Why would people, like, stick around and work for you if you're not giving them, like, and again, don't expect something in return, right? But, like, if they're not providing you with, like, a safe space, you would not want to be there. The amount of, like, companies I've worked for in which they haven't provided me with that, like, comfortability to be like, hey, like, I'm actually quite bothered about this. Like, can you please help me? Like, what should I do for it to be actioned straight away? That's like, I haven't experienced that. So really can't commend her enough. And she's just, like, a fantastic boss. She really is. Like,
Shout out Ping.
yeah, honestly,
Shout out Ping.
she's, yeah, I could go on for hours. That woman is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing too, like, I can tell that this is, like, something that we both have something to say about, and it's both on our mind, and that's, like, the problem with all of this stuff. There's just, like, there's just not enough time in the day to get it all to the point in which we need it to for ourselves, and let alone for each other.
Yeah.
But, like, and that's got to change too. Like we've got to manage how, like I said, it's all. I'm gonna try and tie it back into, like, how to manage my expectations as well. It's like I have to manage my expectations in the sense that if I want to be able to do that, I have to facilitate
An
an environment in which that I love the word fuck. I love that phrase, facilitate an environment. I'm gonna get
You
that
really,
tattooed.
like, you use it every fucking time I see you.
Every time, because I
Yeah.
think it's my mantra. It's like my fucking thing.
It's true.
Because I think in order to be able to get what I want out of my life and the people around me, a part of it's got to come from me as well, right? So
Definitely, dude.
if I want something and I know, and again, managing my expectations of the other person, if
Energy.
I want something and I don't know if they know that I want it, I'm going to make it aware in a way in which they feel like they can come to me
Yeah.
and provide it, and then
Yeah.
ask in return. That's the biggest thing for me as well. Ask in return what they need from me.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's so important to me.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, right, there's no expectation. Like,
No,
from
of course.
But that's why you are facilitating a
But
good environment.
actually, I don't know if it's no expectation. It's not astronomically high.
Yeah.
There's an expectation of every. We all have that. I'm not trying to say that I don't have no expectations of anybody. That's ridiculous. Of course I do. But I'm not. I think my relationship with the expectation in people has changed in the sense that it's not affecting me as much as it used to when when they weren't being met, if that makes sense.
You know where I think that comes from as well? I think that comes from having time to yourself.
Sure.
I think,
reflect, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Dude, I'm so sorry. I need to pee really bad.
Dude, this is fucking horseshit, man. She comes on this fucking show to do this thing. She gotta take a piss.
It's because I had that ginger beer. I'm sorry.
Don't tell them that you've been drinking. They don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm back.
And we're back. Now that we're back, I want us to jump into the meat and potatoes. The real reason that I
I
brought
was
you
like,
here.
what? The mean potatoes? Mean potatoes,
Dude,
okay.
come on, get ahead in the game. This is what I'm saying. We need to take a moment to recess and regroup.
Yeah, true.
And now we're back and we're better than ever. But this is the moment in which I've been waiting for. Maybe you've been waiting for. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how you feel about it pretty soon once we get going. But
Okay.
I wanna start with this. I want to know how you feel about the idea of humans and people having a purpose. Do you believe in that? Do you believe in that idea?
I think honestly, it's kind of a weird one because in some ways, if you think you have a purpose, like I'm kind of on the fence about this because
Sure.
I think you could have a purpose, but
Your eyes just went huge.
like you could definitely you could think you have a purpose.
Sure.
But that might not necessarily be your purpose. You know what I mean? Like, in my eyes...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
In my eyes, I think, as a human race, we have a purpose.
Oh,
But
interesting.
individually, I think we're all just part of, like, a big organism. Like, we, as humans, are interconnected. We're part of, like... This is very spiritual thinking,
I was
but
gonna say,
like,
there's some hoodoo voodoo shit right here,
but
man.
we're all part of like
But yeah,
the earth,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're like
all connected.
we're all connected,
Sure.
and if you believe in like the universe and whatnot, the universe is massive. You're telling me that, like, this little speck of sand, am gonna be, like, making big waves? Like, yeah, I think I have, like, a purpose in the sense that, like, you know, I want to do all these great things with my life, and I have a purpose. I'm here right now. I'm living. Like, my purpose for me would be, like, you know, I have my family. These are the things that drive me. Like, you know, I have a vision that I want to be doing this and this when I'm older, but whether or not it's, like, purpose, if that's the word, I don't know. Like, I think it's what motivates you. But someone might answer this differently. But I think it just depends how you look at it, to be honest. But I
Do you think that, because you said motivation, and I'm thinking now, when you think about purpose,
yeah,
and what you think of when that gets brought up, when you think when you look at yourself, when we're talking about purpose, are you thinking about things that are that you are highly motivated to do?
yeah,
Do
I
you
think so.
think that they are the same, like one and the same motivation and purpose go hand in hand for yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think, like, I've had times in my, like, life where I've literally sat down and done nothing for, like, 4 months, had, like, 1 day a week of work, didn't have my license, couldn't do much, walk everywhere. I had, like, a lot of time to just think. And the things that got me out of that, like, space where I was just doing nothing, because you could literally just sit around and do nothing for your whole life, and you could say that's your purpose. But it's like, what motivates me, what drives me, I'd say, like, drive and motivation and, like, passion, it goes hand in hand with purpose. Like, I'm not saying that when, like, I have things in my life that I want to achieve. I have a vision for myself. Like, I want kids. I want, like, a house. I want a nice car. I want this. I want that. That, I guess, would be, like, my purpose, in the sense that, like, right now I am building X, Y, and Z to get to that. So I guess it's more like, now I'm thinking about it more as I'm speaking. I guess, like, purpose also could be a goal.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
And I think,
I mean, like, one thing too I want you to keep in mind as well. I'm asking you what you think about it. So there's nothing, like, what you think it is, or because I put you on the spot and I just pulled it out of nowhere and asked you.
yeah, I'm really thinking about
You're going through stages now trying to explain it to me, and I think that's great, that there is, like, so many layers to this. There's so much shit that you attribute to the idea of purpose.
Yeah.
That I would almost go ahead and say, yeah, you subscribe to the idea that purpose exists, because I think what you're saying, for me anyway, is ringing true of it being real, by the fact that you're saying, I want this, I'm motivated by this, and this, because I sort of see things in a similar way as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like, just, like, as we're talking about this, because, you know, I'm gonna ask you some more shit, like, as we go along as well. I want you to keep in mind, I'm asking you, and I want you to tell me all of it, like, as much as you can, as much as you can explain to me in a way in which I can understand. Obviously, all of it, like, whatever it is, like, whatever's gonna help you get to that conclusion of
thought process.
You know, whatever it is. I'm not saying you're gonna figure out, like, what your purpose is, like,
No.
But I want you to try and explain it.
Okay.
You know, like, and you're doing that, by the way. You're doing that, so just keep going. I just wanted to just say that, because I didn't explain it properly, like, before we started.
No, that's okay. It's kind of like, it's just, like, a very broad word, I think. The word purpose is, like,
it's the worst, and
you can't really, like, put it down to one thing, because I have a lot of things that, like, I think for me personally, asking me this is, like, a bit confusing to me too, because
sure,
I'm in, like, a part of my life where I actually don't know what I want to do.
Sure.
And I haven't known what I wanted to do for, like, a while. But there are things that I like to do, things that I'm trying. And I haven't been like, oh, yeah, that's it. Like, that's what I want to do. But things that I can say that, like, I know for certain get me into, like, a space where I feel like I have some sort of, like, I don't know, direction, pathway, would just be when I'm at peace. I think, like, my purpose is just to find calmness within, like, the chaos of life. Because, like, I don't know. I think it's important to... Man, I'm really, like, thinking hard here.
Dude,
It's
I
like,
was
it's
going
a
to say,
big
they're not
question.
going to be able to see your face, but I'm, like,
Yeah.
looking at...
I'm like...
you were in the trenches.
Yeah, I'm, like,
You were in
really...
the
I'm really
trenches.
thinking
No,
about
but I love
this.
that. I love that you're really thinking about it because, dude, same. Like,
I don't want to just, like, say anything because, like...
No.
It's actually quite, like, a big
Say
question.
Say it, see how it feels. Say it, see how it feels. If it doesn't come out right, who gives a fuck? Say it. Say
Yeah,
that,
yeah, like,
say
I'm
it
just,
again.
like-
Say it again. Say it how you need to
Like,
say it.
I think for me, like, I know that there's... I don't want to just be happy. I don't want to just be, like,
Yeah.
sad. I don't want to just be that.
following,
They're
yeah.
all temporary states, right? I just want to find some way to navigate all of that. And if I can find
Whoa.
tools to, like, help me to deal with the waves of freaking life, I think that would be, like, the purpose, right? Like, you're trying to do this thing
I
and play this
fucking
game.
love that. Yeah.
You're trying to play this game to the best ability before it's game over.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where I'm at after things I've kind of, like, dealt with, especially in the past week where I thought I was freaking dead. Like, just trying to find, like, a way to keep going, I guess. Like, you know, you get knocked back, you start
Sure.
again, and it's like, how am I going to do it better this time? Like, I need to just continuously find, like, tools to keep it going, and maybe, like, I'll find something I enjoy, but that's it. It's a journey. Life is a journey. So, like, when you say purpose, this is what I mean. Like, you can't really say purpose.
Whoa, what are you
because
coming
it's
at me
like-
for?
Like, you can't really say, like, because it ends, right? Like, it ends. Life ends.
Fuck, you're kidding. You better not.
But it's like, while I'm here, while I'm in it, the thick of it,
yeah.
what am I doing to make sure that my time here is not as shit? What am I doing here to make sure that everyone else is, like, I'm not impacting someone in a negative way? Like, I want to make sure, like, if I can leave this place, that I leave it not better than what it was, but, like, I want to make sure that it's, like, it's calm, you know, like...
It's calm, fam.
It's yeah, like
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like my favorite, like, I have this vision of myself, and I think
Tell me a vision, man. Tell me a
I think
vision.
this is what I want out of my life, at least right now.
Sure.
I want to be
Actually, that's keep running with this. That's really good. Yeah.
okay. Like, this is my idea of, like,
Yeah.
bliss. I want to be an old lady, not right now. But, like,
I was just like, what the fuck?
I want to be like
Okay.
an old lady living in, like, Burleigh Heads who wakes up every morning early.
Oh, fucking bum. You want to be a beach bum.
I do want to be a beach bum,
Keep
but
keep going.
I want to be, like, hybrid beach bum. So I want to be like,
Interesting.
I'm going to close my eyes and imagine this because I paint you a
I'll
better
close
picture.
my eyes too.
So I don't really have any, like, I would love to be wealthy, don't get me wrong, but
Oh, so many toys.
it's
I
not
buy
the point.
So many action figures.
It's not the point. I would like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I want to be living in Burleigh Heads in, like, a nice, like, glass. I want glass windows, big glass windows. I want literally a canvas, like a little easel. I want my paints. I want, like, a cup of tea, and I want to be looking at the ocean, but with access to, like, the mountains. And I want a library of books. I don't even see me having, like, a TV. I don't even see that.
Jesus.
like, just,
Fuck, how you gonna watch
calmness.
TV without a TV, dude?
like,
You just
find,
don't need it.
like,
You
doesn't
just...
that make you just want to go, like,
I was literally just, as I was picturing it, dude, I just painted that picture for myself. I don't see you. I see myself. I want that shit.
But-
Fuck you. I'm stealing that.
but, like, that's what I mean, right? Like, you just want to be that.
Yeah.
Well, at least I want to be that.
No, I get what you're saying, and I want to ask you this now that you've like painted this picture for me, and and for yourself as well. Like, it ties perfectly into the next like sort of thing that I want to ask you in regards to this whole thing. But how far along do you think you have come in your own journey towards that? Are you on the right track?
Yeah.
Are you being pulled away in different directions?
Okay.
Because you close your eyes and you thought about that, right? And you painted this picture for yourself and for myself. So I want to know, like, you said it briefly before that you're trying to work towards making that. You on the right track? How you going? Like, like, what's going on? Like,
Okay.
you
Well,
you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're trying to say.
Cool.
When I was younger, I had a vision of myself in my 20s.
Yeah,
The vision of myself in my 20s was living in an apartment
dude, same.
by myself, driving a really nice car,
Oath.
and just just chilling. Like, not doing, like, nothing too crazy, just, like, doing well for myself.
Mm.
And I can say, I'm not in my apartment yet. I'm only 22. But, like, I'm on my way there. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Since, like, the start of this year, I think I've seen the most growth in myself. Actually, yeah, I would say, like, past couple of years, maybe since leaving, like, high school, my life has taken, like, so many turns. I don't know, like, where the fuck I was going. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's always been, like, two constant things. That's, like art and, like, acting, hand in hand kind of thing. I've always had passions to do that. I've always had, like, drive to do business. And I'm trying to create opportunities for myself to somehow, like, put those two hand in hand, so that way I don't have to work for someone doing something I don't want to do, but still be enjoying. Hang on, I'm like kind of. I want to basically have like a business where I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, you want a
Like,
symbiotic relationship between
everything I love.
Yeah, of course.
That's my goal, and it's achievable.
I fucking
and
love
it's
that
never
for you,
been
man.
more achievable in my life, right? Like, right now, I never, like, if I look back, if I was looking at myself last year, this time, I would not be seeing myself doing this. Dude, I'm getting paid to make, like, videos, which is basically on the track of me doing something I already love, right? Like, yeah, it's not acting, but it's a step in the right direction.
I was gonna say it's a step closer than you were
Before. Yeah.
And then when that's like the hardest thing to remember too, like throughout this whole journey of all this fucking bullshit that we get up to. It's like you forget how far because shit moves so quickly. Like, I had the same moment where a similar moment the other day where I was like, oh fuck, like I'm way further. I'm not exactly where I thought I was, but I'm a lot further than I thought that I was going to be at this point. Like when I started out on this journey.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not exactly where I would like to be, but I'm pretty fucking chilling with where I'm at right now. But you forget that all the time.
Yeah, you do.
It's unfortunate, but I think it's also necessary because
I think so.
It helps you then. It kind of lights you up again to keep going, if that makes sense.
It's your purpose, your motivation.
Bro, fucking, oh my god! See, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. It's making sense, you know. Like it's making sense. But I was gonna say there is a few other things. There's a few things like similarly like to what we were just talking about then with like you gave a really good example like and the thing that I literally just said, like where I gave an example where I felt like you lose it sometimes and then you remember, but like when's the last time that you felt that you were like, oh fuck, I'm not where I gotta be? And when did you like oh dude, she gone wide eyes. She's like full face like screaming at me right now. Yeah.
Legit, last weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend,
Interesting.
I had the awakening of my fucking life.
Yeah.
Like, I could not express to you, like, dude, when you think that you are dead and you come back to life
Oh god.
and you realize that, like, things, like, yeah, not my proudest moment, but, like,
No. Sure.
but I think that was something that needed to happen to me because it was like, this could be your life. If this is the path that you're choosing, this could be your life. Why do you're wasting yourself.
Yeah.
And it was a huge wake-up call. For the next week, I felt, and I still feel so incredibly grateful because, like, I had this whole existential crisis thing that happened to me, and I've told you about it. But, like,
Yep.
it really made me question how I was looking at things. And I've been telling myself for, like, I don't know, past couple of years, like, I've been really feeding myself negative thoughts.
Sure.
And I think I recognized when I came down from that was, like, destroying me. Because my entire life, I've been a positive person. Been upbeat.
Yeah, you're quite jovial, I'd say.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I hope so.
You like jovial? You like that? That's good. Yeah.
That's a good adjective.
Cool.
I think,
cool.
that's a good one.
Trying it out.
Thanks, yeah. It works for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, I don't know, my entire life, I've always been told, like, by other people, external to me, like, oh, happy little Emily, like, bubbly, bright, I get called sunshine at work, because that's what's associated with me, I guess. But then, like, I come home.
You suck your own dick much, man? Nah, keep going.
No, like, come
But you're
home
right.
and I'd be like, oh, it's so funny that they call me sunshine because that's not at all how I'm feeling. Like, that's not how I feel. And then it took that to be like, bitch, wake up. Like, you got so much going for you. Like, don't be so ungrateful.
Dude.
Not ungrateful, but, like, you've got a lot of stuff. You've got a lot of people around you that love and care about you. This just isn't just about you.
Oath, man.
It's not just about you. It's about everyone. Like,
That's so interesting, man. That's sorry to cut you off,
No, it's
because
okay.
like that was what I was gonna ask you next as well. It's like, when was, like, the inverse question? Like, when was the moment you felt like you were back on the right track?
yeah.
So it's almost like,
It's a quick transition.
I was gonna say,
tell you.
it's like it was like a click
Yeah.
of the fingers transition for you. That's
yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I think, like, because I've known you for a while now, I think it was because that was a boiling point. I think, like, it got to the point at which you hit that moment, and you're like, no, I can't
It was
do that
coming.
again. So that's why the transition happened so quickly. But that's really interesting because I didn't. My bad. Like, this is my bad to you. It's like I didn't really look at it that way until a little bit later. That I was like, oh yeah, that's like a. I know what she means a little bit more now, but by that for sure.
Yeah, dude, like, I think it was like, it has been a huge turning point for me in the past week. Like, I've wanted to do things just because I wanted to do things, like, very simple things, but, like, helping, like, my mum and my dad without, like, saying anything, just, like, doing it. And how, like, helping other people is, like, it just should just be, like, second nature. You shouldn't have, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but, like, I guess because I was projecting negativity, I'd be, like, a bit begrudging in, like, how I would, like, help people and kind of, like, and not necessarily, like, not everyone, mind you. Like, I like to help people, but I was kind of, like, not for tit for tat either, but, like, it's kind of holding that, like, oh, I've helped you, like, what do you, like, why?
Expectations.
Yeah, expectation.
Yeah.
And then having that, because that came after that, having that conversation with Ping again, like, that kind of cemented the transition, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And she really told me what I needed to hear, like, and it drilled it in further. It was like, yeah, dude, like, you just gotta not take everything so personally. Not everyone's out to get you. Like, and that's how I was taking it. I was taking it like, everything's against me. It's all about me. Me. Like, why does this happen to me? I was of such a bad victim mentality, and like that I hate victimizing myself. Like, I hate it. I hate self-pity. I hate it. It's okay to feel it, but it's important to let go of that.
Yeah, sure.
And like I could name a few examples in which I should have behaved like better because of how I was feeling, and like I project, and it's not nice. And I think that was a big wake up call for me as well. It was just like, just fucking let it go. Like, they're on their own path, you're on your own path. Like, yeah, like, what's the point? What's the point in like doing that to them? They're not doing it to you. They're just telling you something that they're happy to be sharing with you, or like, I don't know, it just really was affecting me, and I could feel that, and it was a lot of build up, and then all comes crashing down. And then, yeah, like, after being tended to for a few days, and like seeing how my like family would just like drop everything to help me, was just like, whoa. Like, and yeah, I just can't like explain to you how that completely shifted my view of like things again. It was like, wow, this feels good to be back in touch with this Emily. I've missed this Emily. Like, why did I ever let that bit of me go? But I think it was just so buried down so deeply because of all of the hurt I had been feeling. I hadn't really like dealt with it.
Dude, I love that you said, like, when you just said, like, I miss this Emily, I love that Emily. It's like a return to form. It's like a coming back of sorts in like, because you were saying, like, you brought up, like, how your family was there to help you and stuff like that. I can't help but think, like, just having spoken the way we have now as well, like, that's intertwined with you, like, and everything that makes you you, and you kind of lost purpose for a second there. You lost a lot.
Just doing.
You lost like a part of you, and then you came back to yourself, and now you seem different, and you seem, I don't want to say the word better because it's not the right word, but I don't know what, like, you just seem like
Centered.
Nah, fuck that. Yes, nah, fuck that. No, that's not the one. But it's like you the way you talk about it, you seem like you've understood it. Like,
yeah,
like you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it seems like you've really been able to really take this and fully like let it sink into you and sit with it and
yeah,
do something with it this time in the sense of like being able to see differently the shit that, like, what I'm trying to say is, this is my bad because I can't fucking explain the right way to say it. But it's like, it seems to me that you've been able to understand what's happened and you were fed up with it, and I think that's what's helped you understand it, and I believe it when I hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard similar things before in the past, but it feels like you are genuinely at a point in which you are focused and fuck you fine. Yeah, a little bit centered, alright? Like, it feels like it's all like a little bit more.
Well, it's now coming from like.
It's coming back, like the return to form, like you are more yourself, and
yeah.
Unfortunately, the reason why I didn't want to say different is because you're not different. You're a person that I haven't really been able to know because I didn't.
Yeah, dude, because I was stuck in negativity.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, I don't want to use the word different, but
yes, I
fuck,
am.
dude, I wish I could have explained that the first go around. My bad, but like,
no, It's
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
no,
you know
I
what
do.
mean?
I get 100% what you're trying to say.
And where I was trying to go with it is that, like, that's huge, dude. It's a huge truth that you've just fucking shared, and that you've just, like, decided to incorporate a part of your, like, incorporate into your journey.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is the thing too, like, it's a process that's gonna have to run its course, and it's gonna be done when it's done, and you can't fuck up the process. And I feel like that this part that you are at now is irreversible. Like, you're only gonna go the opposite direction now that you've made it past or made it to this point.
Yeah. And
So,
dude, like, I hate to be a downer, but, like, fuck, sometimes it gets rough. Like, you don't think you're going to become that positive person again. Because for, like, I was sitting in that for a long time. Like, I just, it's, like, it's crazy to me that I let it go on for that long. It is so crazy to me. But, like, that's just what I had to do at that time.
Yeah.
But, if anything, like, I'm so thankful for that experience, because now I know, I don't necessarily know how to get out of it, like, because that wasn't a good way to get out of it, but, like,
that's
I know I can come back to it, is probably the better way to put it.
That's the thing too, like me and you, not so different, but it's like, that's my one thing as well. It's like, I don't really know how I got out of it, I just did, like, and that's what, and I think a part of me has been chasing that like, all right, I need to fucking figure out how I got out of this so I can't get back in it. But I think that's, like, the point. You're not supposed to know, because trying to get out of it before you're supposed to isn't the right way to go about it, because then that opens other shit. Yeah. Then not only do you have to fix that shit, you have to go back to the start where you were.
Yeah.
You can't cut the line, is basically what I'm saying.
No, you can't.
And I think we've both, in our, throughout our life, most people have, they've tried to cut the line. And then it's not until someone pulls you up and, like, you can't fucking cut the line, cunt. Like, go to the back. Yeah. And that's, like, a moment, like, where you have a really hectic moment, or, like, some shit happens that you go, oh my god, I've got to wait in the line. And then, like,
whew. You just gotta, like, when you're in that space too, like, you don't want to feel those things.
Fuck no,
You do not want to feel those things.
No
That's
way.
why you're looking to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're looking for the next, shall I say, like high, the positive, like, you're looking for that next thing. But now I'm, like, acknowledging that that's okay, that's how I'm, like, feeling, but that's not all of me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, there's other positive things. Like, I was just so focused on the negative things. And, like, again, I'll go back to that podcast I've been listening to. I listened to another one about basically the guy who is the godfather of manifestation. I was talking to you.
Yes.
Sending you that link today. You should definitely listen to it, because it really...
I will.
Psych!
Really... No, but I actually will.
It's only like 30 minutes. It's pretty good.
Oh, hell
But, yeah, it was just, like, really interesting. He was saying, you have the power to control, like, your environment. How you perceive things is how, like, is your environment, right? Like, if you are going into a situation and you see all the negative things, you're going to have a negative experience, because that's where you're at. But if you're going into it with a positive experience, that's within your control. You will never be able to control what anyone else is thinking nor doing. But if you can control what you're doing, if you can control your thinking, your feelings, then you're good. You're good. If you can address that that's how you're feeling, and then you can, okay, that's cool. If I feel like that way, that's cool. I'm just going to keep going. Like,
yeah, I like that. I really like that. Being able to, like, understand.
It's just like, duh. Like,
yeah. But it's hard,
It's
like,
so
it's so
hard.
hard. But I think that is genuinely, like, because this is the thing too. Like, I heard this thing the other day. I think it was on a podcast. I don't know where it was, but, like, they were saying, like, oh, it was on the Duncan Trussell podcast. He had this lady on there. She's fucking genius, and they were talking about grief, right? And they were like, society is grief illiterate. We don't know how to deal with it. And I want to raise her one more to say, like I think I said that at the start of this. Like,
you said it to me the other day, I think.
Yeah, we're fucking illiterate when it comes to everything. Like, we don't know how to deal with any of this shit. Like,
because it's all made up.
There's no reason, like, we can't just sit with it. Like, we hear it now because we've gone through it, but it's like, fuck, imagine if we had the opportunity to, like, not have to go through that. I'm glad in a way that we didn't, so now we can get there on our own, but I think there's nothing wrong with being able to just sit in that state for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, but the problem is, and this is the problem that I got caught up in, and I know you got caught up in it too, is we sat in certain parts of it for fucking too long because we couldn't get out of it, and we were thrust into it, sometimes of our own making, sometimes external things, and we didn't have the proper tools to get out of it.
Yeah.
And you can't expect people in that state. Again, expectations. When people are in that state and they don't know what you have, like, if they're in a position like that where they're feeling like shit or whatever it is, and the only person that can get them out of that is them, it's a fucking mission and a half. Because not only do they have to stop feeling like shit, then they have to learn how to fucking get out, feel good and get out, right? So it's like a 2-step, probably even 3-step process, because then you action that after you do that. And that's quite difficult and that's quite hard. And I think what happens is when you're in those states, you can't skip the steps. Like, again, you can't jump the queue, and people don't know the steps, so they're just like, all right, gotta be happy.
Yeah.
And it takes away from the moment in which has put you there. They demand respect. If you've suffered greatly, something's happened,
you've got to deal.
You need to acknowledge that it's terrible, and whatever it is you're feeling is legitimate and real.
Yeah.
But then you need to figure out the balance in which you can feel that, but also continue moving forward to then figure out how to substitute that intensity with something less intense. You don't have to get rid of it completely, because you can't.
No.
But you mitigate it, right? And that's the hardest part, because nobody knows how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I really know how to do that. I'm trying, but it's very difficult. It
is really challenging. And you're, like, I'm not saying you're not going to have, like, another shit day, because you will have another shit day, you know, like...
Oh, always.
That's just kind of the way it rolls. But now at least you have the hope and the knowledge that it will be better. Like... And, like, I've always told myself, you know, it's going to be better, it'll be better. But not really known how or when or, like, what will be the cause of it getting better. But I know that it couldn't come from anyone else. Because, like I said, you can't control anyone else. It has to come from in here. And that really was something that I dealt with over, like, the weekend. I was like, oh, like, yeah, that's me. This is me. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling. Like, and it was just intensified. But, like, shit, man, I don't want to be, like, feeling all of that forever. Like, I had to be in that state to recognize that that's what I was going through. And if I couldn't do that...
Fuck, that's huge, man.
Then I'm not sure that I would be, like... I'm not sure that I would have, like, hope for, like, things to change. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I do.
I had to just accept that this is shit that's happened to me. And, like, stop self-pity. Stop it. Because my problems, yeah, they're relevant to me. They're really big to me. But they're nowhere near as big as some other people's problems. Like, this is just the cards I've been dealt. And I'm going to roll with it. Like, why not? Like, I don't know.
That's the thing too, man.
You don't know when you're going to, like...
With this comparison between other people as well, it's like, who gives a fuck how big their problems are? Your problems, they're not yours. Like, their problems aren't yours. Your problems are yours. Their problems may be this, that, or whatever. And I understand what you're trying to say, where it's like, there are bigger things, but it's like, in doing that, you're skipping the step, right? Like, you're not dealing with your problem. You're comparing and going, oh, I don't need to deal with it because that's way more important. Let me worry about that.
Yeah.
Can't do that either.
But see, that's the other thing too. Like, you know how we're talking about energy and how people pick up on energy.
Sure.
I, like, have a really bad habit of also, like, carrying other worries. Yeah. Like, I think I get that from my mum. Like, because she carried... Yeah, love you, Mum. But I think I get that from her in the sense that she will worry about every single one, like, the family constantly. and it's really like unhealthy because it really like impacts you.
Yeah.
So while I'm dealing with like all my shit, I'm also taking on board all
Everyone
that
else's.
shit, which is not the worst, but it's also like
Catch 22.
I shouldn't. But I don't know, like at the same time, right? Like that kind of makes you a human. Ugh.
Little technical difficulties there. I forgot to charge the laptop and it died. But
Rookie mistake.
yeah, it is. I was gonna say, man, after everything that we were talking about as well, like, it's, this is a conversation that I think it's been long overdue, but it's something that it's got to keep happening, and like that's something that I noticed with everybody. It's like these aren't one and dones. These are
Oh, it's gonna happen again. I'm sure of it.
yeah, it's one and done, but it's like moving forward. Like what comes next for you?
Like after this change in perception.
Yeah, what comes next? What are you most excited for, and what do you think is gonna happen now that you've been thinking the way that you've been thinking, you've been feeling the way that you're feeling? What do you think's gonna happen?
Well,
For good or for what? Like for good or for bad? Like what do you think is gonna happen?
I think good things are coming. I think, there has to be.
Sure.
No doubt there'll be more bad times, but I think I'm better equipped to deal with them if they come my way now. But in terms of where my life is now heading, I think because of last week and the things I was feeling and going through, and now going back to yoga and realizing how beneficial that was for me, kind of getting back in touch with journaling, I think mentally I'm going to be much more on the ball, much more able to check myself. And because of that, I think my goals and my passions, after talking with people throughout this week, people who I don't think I'd be having a conversation with about these things in my life, but I think I'm more open to trying new things. And, as much as I really enjoy what I'm doing now, it's not what I want to do. And so I see it as a stepping stone for what I want to do. So my plan, if I can stick to it, is just kind of try and save as much as I can, work as hard as I can in this job, whilst developing skills that I know are going to benefit me in the long run, in terms of what I actually want to be doing, how I actually see myself living, because I don't like this for me. I know that I have great big ideas and things I actually want to be doing with my time, and when you sit at a desk, and you would get it, you sit at a desk all day and you see how much time goes by. You only have so much time to do the things you want to do when you get home. And if I'm sitting there and I'm spending 8 hours at the desk doing menial tasks, that's time that I could be spending investing in myself. And so now that I have this new idea of listening to audiobooks while I'm working, I'm just going to try and learn as much as I can from all kinds of walks of life kind of thing. But my plan is to really develop and start teaching myself how to sew. I don't know, when you ask that question, it means a few different things to me, but
No, dude, I was gonna say, you hit everything that you recapped exactly what we were talking about. You did. There's no expectations.
no expectations.
No expectations
yeah.
from me when these come, because I'm talking to
listening,
you. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
Is to hear what you have to say.
Thanks, man.
No, man. And I think what you have to say and what you've said has been mega, and I'm really glad that you felt the way that you did talking about what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you've been able to have a moment in the last couple of like weeks and stuff to get to the point in which you are right now. And I think you're doing exactly everything that you've said you wanted to do for a while. You're thinking better,
Yeah.
living better,
Yeah.
being better. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, dude. That's the plan, at least. And just now have more clarity of what I actually think I
More
want to do.
centered, more focused.
Yeah, more focused. More in, like, now I kind of, like, know what I enjoy and can sit and do for hours, like, without feeling, like, stressed or, like, I get excited by it. Like, you know, I cannot express how much joy I got from making that costume. And I could sit there with back cramping, like, blistering hands from the hot glue gun, like, making stuff. That's my shit.
Dude, just keep this. Just gotta keep making shit.
That's exactly it.
That's it.
And
just
that's
gotta keep making shit, dude. That's all it is.
100% making shit. Dude, yeah, 100%. That's where I think, like, that's where I think my next step is. I'm gonna, like, sign up and try and find, like, a sewing class, because I know my mum's talked to me about one of them before. Get, like, a basic understanding kind of how to make things.
Yeah.
And then once I have that under my belt, can kind of just, like, make some stuff in my spare time, like, instead of going out and getting absolutely wrecked. Or, like,
Oh,
you know,
come on.
oh, it's, like, fun
It's
every
fucking
once in a
sick,
while, but it's
though.
not, like, a good use of
Of course, yeah.
brain cells and all, like, money. Like, it's a good time seeing everyone, but, you know, there's only so long your body can hold up and do that for.
Of course.
And if I want to create the life I want, then I need to change.
Yeah.
And this is a big change for me, and I'm not afraid of this change. It's just, like, the figuring out bit that I didn't have before. Now I've kind of, like, figured out kind of at least how to start. And better idea now of, like, what I know, like, I can sit comfortably and do.
Yeah.
Because before, I, like, dabbled in it, and I was trying to learn. I signed up to Skillshare, was watching videos, trying to teach myself, but I need to be, like, in a room with someone showing me how to do it, literally, like, just teach me. Go hands-on, show me what to do, I'll do it. If I can get that skill, then I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. You know what I mean? And if I don't like it, I don't like it, but at least I've tried.
That's it. At least you've tried to do something. So you're just gonna try and do the thing. That's like,
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that we're really supposed to really do
Yeah, dude.
anymore, is to just do the thing that we want
I do.
to do and that we've been trying to do for ages. It's just
Yeah.
time to do the thing.
Now it's, like, eventuating, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, like, thanks. I think also, like, moving forward, I know, like, how to kind of come, not necessarily back to how I'm feeling currently, but I've, through listening to these new, like, podcasts and reading new things and, like, going to the yoga, going on walks, exercising, I have, like, other tools now to kind of ground me and take me back to that point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually what my purpose is, like, why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Because I don't want to be here, I want to be there. This is a stepping stone. Just, like, looking at it like that.
You're on the way to the purpose.
If we have one.
If we have one. Sorry, my bad. That's just me assuming. But, dude, I think that's like, it's hard for me to say exactly what I'm thinking, but, like, I think that's me. I think that's where, and like, having spoken to you about this now for a bit, it's like, again, like, my expectations were managed by myself, but I didn't realize that once we would start talking, I would start to understand immediately a little bit more, like, my own sort of shit, my own sort of path and trajectory and relationship with this ideation and question. But in it's crazy how much time and effort you can spend with something alone, and then as soon as you sit with somebody and give them the same shit that you've been running with for a while and hearing how they talk about it, what that does for you, it's huge. And I really appreciate you for doing this and being able to like talk at length with like everything that I threw at you and everything that you threw back at me. Like I really appreciate it because it's really helped me a lot already. I'm already, again, dude, my brain is fucking racing, dude. Just like going through all these things, all so much stuff. Like, I'm gonna go home and not go home. I'm already fucking.
I'm gonna go home.
You're gonna go home, but I'm gonna like sit down and I'm gonna write some stuff down and I'm gonna move forward, because in the span of like 2 hours, just so much more clarity on a situation in which I was already quite well versed with my own sense of understanding that I had, done for myself. So yeah, man, thank you for that.
It's okay. Can I ask you a question?
Actually, no.
I can't.
That's not how this works.
Is it not how it works?
Bro, come on now. This is my podcast.
It is your podcast.
No, of course. Please, you can ask me a question.
Okay.
Depends on what it is, though.
Well, it could...
Better not be shit.
No, it's not a shit question.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Well, there's no such thing as a shit question.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. Come on.
Yeah.
Ask me this question.
Okay,
I'm just
right.
nervous.
Okay, well, no,
Dude, this sucks.
Oh my god, it sucks being put on the spot. What's purpose?
I don't like it at all.
No, I just want to ask you...
Sure, I'm closing my eyes so I can think. Yeah.
What is something... Because I don't know what you've taken away from this. But if you could take away one thing from what I've said about what I think purpose is, what do you think it is? Just one thing. Doesn't have to be big.
I like that question, and I think it's going to take me like a couple of seconds to pick something, because there's a few different things that I'm thinking of now. But I think I liked your idea that purpose is... Not your idea, but like the way you explained it, in which your purpose and your passion and your drive, I kind of was thinking of those two things as separate, but there's a lot of overlap there, and hearing you explain it and then closing my eyes and you painting the picture of the thing, and like then you saying I'm working towards that, and I was like, oh damn, my purpose can be the travel, the journey to a to a spot. I always thought that the purpose was this continuous, never-ending pursuit of the one thing, but I never thought that it could be what I did think, but I didn't. The way you explained it to me changed a little bit the way that I thought about it before we had this conversation, and being able to give me the example to then do it myself as well. That's awesome. I really like that. I thought that was a really good, and I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna tell people to close their eyes and tell me. Because
visualization.
When I did that, like in that moment, I saw myself. Like I said, I didn't see you. I saw TVs. I saw mad TVs.
Yeah, what did you see?
Many TVs.
Yeah.
But I did see, I saw myself in I think what I think would make me the most happy, across all periods of time throughout my life, like when I was a kid, and because that's what I think purpose for me as well is, like, not happiness, but having a space or being in a position in which every version of me would be able to be the best version of me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I saw myself in this moment, in that spot where I was in the hinterlands, exactly how you said it, and there was everything around me that I love and that I wanted and that I don't have, but also that I do have, and I liked it. I want it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say I took away from that. That's a really good question. Fuck, man, that's good.
Make you think now. Yeah,
that did make me think a lot, because I didn't want to take away from your moment there, but that's a good moment, and yeah, that was just as much for me as it was for you. And that's why, having sat here now with you for almost 2 hours, like this is, yeah, it's reinforced the idea that this is something that I need to keep going with and I need to do, because already it's shown me something that I didn't have before that I think I need. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, do it. Dude, you'll be so surprised. I think so many people will have like completely different perspective.
Oh, man. I'm so excited.
And yeah, I'm excited to listen to this because I think there'll be things I'll be able to apply. Like, or like just listen to and think about something differently. Because I'm just one woman. I'm just one woman.
Guy.
I'm just one woman.
Guy.
You know, everyone comes from different experiences and they're all valued. Like,
yeah,
everyone can shed a different, you know, bit of light onto a situation. So, no, thank you for having me on the potty.
Anytime.
Glad I could finally
make an appearance. Well, don't jinx it just yet. We don't know. We don't know.
Oh.
Nah, come on, man.
Come on.
We don't.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Nah, man. Thank you. I still haven't figured out how to finish these, but I think we should just say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wait. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
No,
but not forever.
But I'm going last, so you say.
No, but I'm going last.
No.
No.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.